Present Lekka Holidays. My name is Llewellyn, born to presenter from Local Lekka TV. I'm standing here in a small town about 16 to 17 kilometers away from Sedgefield and a few kilometers away from Knysna. You won't miss it. A place called Buffalo's Bay, or Buffer's Bay as many surfers call it. You will find a lovely few shops here and Lekka restaurant like River Deck, where you will find Sunday plates for 150 to 160. A few kilometers in, you will find the lovely beach and the lovely hot spots where you can surf all day long. I'm standing here at Kiff Surf Shop, where you will find custom surfboards, new second-hand clothing, wetsuits, anything you like about surfing that he will tell you more about coming up next. I'm sitting here with the owner of Kiff Surf Shop, Valdemir, Valdi, as everyone know him. How are you, Valdi?
Good, man, and you?
Good. Here at the Kiff Surf Shop, tell us more about it. How did it start?
Man, it was actually during COVID. I'm a musician, a music teacher.
Nice.
I had been shaping my own boards for a couple of years, and then obviously you start shaping for buddies and whatever. And Hamish, the laminator here, had already then glassed my boards. And we decided, okay, I'm going to take over this factory, and we actually started in town with the surfboard factory for making custom surfboards and the repairs. You know, I moved onto this farm here, and the owner of the farm once said to me, don't you feel like maybe having like a little display for your boards? And I went, yeah. And this very windy house, the first windy house of the three that we started with, was at my old house. And I used to shape it. And so we actually brought the whole windy house here, and I started with the one windy house. And it's just flowed from there. Still teach music, much less, because I was involved with schools and that, and obviously with this thing now, but it's still part of it. Also an artist, all of the stuff. It was just natural that it all came together. But it's very important what we do in terms of the service we give, in terms of repairs, and then obviously when we get to the sport of surfing, and that the fact that you could have a custom surfboard is an amazing thing.
That's amazing.
Because it makes you learn quickly. And obviously you can then also customize it in terms of your own art and that. So that's you know, you're always going to have a friendly, happy customer, which helps. It makes it feel very good. It's a bit like music too. It's very rewarding, the teaching side of it.
So I see all over the signs, it says you like give lessons, you give surf lessons, and music also. You got instruments, all kinds of instruments. Tell us more about that.
So the music sort of naturally carried on with my really good students. I've got students that drive from Tsikama for a weekly lesson. So, you know, you didn't want to say to them, listen, I'm going to stop teaching music, and I do love it. Very rewarding. So that sort of naturally came on. Didn't have that much space for new music students, but it's, you know, people go out of school. Anyway, the surf lessons, it just goes very much with this business. This season you can see the amount of people, lots of overseas people as well, and that makes me so happy because they all come here and they can't believe how pretty it is. We get a bit spoiled, But I mean, we live in, I think, the most beautiful part of the world, so that's important, and it's nice to see that with the effect it gives towards you know, like a tourist. A lot of the tourists I saw this year so far have been young. It's the first time they've been here, and they 100% can't wait to come back. So we're giving it to new people, if you know what I mean, again. So I love that. You see, the shop has a function with accessories. So so the clothing is, for me, is like a summer thing. Unless it's specifically like the accessories would be the gear, like certain clothing that you can surf in that protects your skin, or the wetsuits. I've got the very best wetsuits you can get here, value for money. I also really concentrate on local stuff. That's why you see a lot of the island style stuff here. It's made in South Africa, man. It's good. So if you're a tourist and you come in, buy something, and it is actually from South Africa. Same with the little art gallery here. It's just, I'm still an artist. I haven't stopped doing any of that stuff.
So all of it is your art?
Yes. Wow. So it's all connected. For me, surfing, music and art, it's the same thing. So that's what I like about how this is developing into something. I'd, in the future, love to do live music here.
Here in Buffalo Bay?
Right here.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
so that's why my piano's in there, and that will have to be another season.
We here in Buffalo's Bay, and as I've heard, like people say, this is the best like spot for surfing. Can you
Yes.
tell us about that? Do you agree with that?
100%. There's a huge variety of waves,
Okay.
from beginner to very advanced.
Okay.
But Buffalo Bay, the bay itself, is one of the best, if not the best, learner surf spots in the country. It's
So if
amazing.
you're starting from scratch to learn surfing, this is the right place to
It's
be.
almost like it's built for it, because
Okay.
you start in the best place to be a beginner,
Yeah.
and the very next surf spot next to it is like a level up,
Okay,
and then another one is a
next
level up.
Anybody, you don't have to know surfing. You can just start from.
Man, that's the beauty of the lessons. These things you got to know. I'm still surprised. This morning I got lessons to some kids and adults as well, and I realized as well how little they do know about the sea. You know, you got to respect the sea, even on the smallest of days. At the moment, there's very small waves, but the sea is still strong.
Yeah.
So there's
the
things
tide,
to learn. It could be as simple as, hey, there's a couple of rocks underneath there that you might not know about.
Yeah.
And for a local surfer, those rocks weren't there last week.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the information
have
that's
to know that,
worth getting.
Yeah.
If you've been surfing a bit before in other surf spots, then it's very accessible, yeah? Because it's not
Okay.
hectic surf spots. But 100%, make sure you connect with a local. You come to the surf shop when you just ask for advice. The other thing with Buffalo Bay, it's very tide dependent. You can arrive here on a day and think this is the worst surf spot in the world. There's no waves or whatever. And that very same afternoon is fantastic.
So if we wanted to find this place, how do we find it?
Man, I use my Instagram a lot.
Okay.
So for me, it would be Kiff Surfboards _official. My number is 073 220 6537. Email address is wildmanfreelance@gmail.com.
So like if you wanted to give like advice for like guys that also does own surf shops and so that does the same thing as you do, like what advice would you give to them as in the business section?
Yes, you rather go surf, young. You're going to be missing a lot of surf.
I understand, yeah.
Then we got a thing called FOMO, and it's your fear of missing out. And I'm sitting right next to the road, so I see surfboards go past here all the time, and I start going, "Whoa, the waves must be good," and I know they're not good. The advice I would give anyone is, number one, before you do it, make sure you love what you do. That's actually the advice I'd give anyone.
On the tourism side, like the tourists, they come in a lot.
December time, tourism here is huge because of Buffalo Bay. Buffalo Bay is already full, all the houses. So the thing is, I do have a service too.
Okay.
So a lot of people in the water, they damage their boards and whatever. So we sort that out with them. This year so far has been totally different. The month leading up to now, so November into December, lots of international tourists, Germany, England, France. There's some Spanish people. They obviously also love the sea. The lessons are fantastic for them. Seems to be a younger generation. It's almost like a new generation. With my music lesson, I was quite used to the swallows. I had lots of German students that would come for 6 months in the year and then go. That obviously fell through for a little while. But obviously December time, tourism here is huge because of Buffalo Bay. Buffalo Bay is already full. And like I said, the other thing is I do have a service too. So a lot of people in the water, they damage their boards and whatever. So we sort that out with them. Sun hats. There's certain things that people need when they're on holiday. Oh, they've lost theirs or whatever. And so that's a big thing to sort that side of it out. It's different, but that's why I say where this is going in terms of a social area, I'm very excited about it. So eventually I would love to get a license. I think then we will really have a nice place, just in terms of getting the live music element in. Because people come here and they go, geez, I can't believe it's the banana trees and it's got a certain
and it's
flavor.
live music playing, that's really nice. So, Valerie, thank you for having us. It's been really nice on behalf of Local Lekka TV. I want to thank you, man.
It's a pleasure, Llewellyn. An absolute pleasure. Thank you.